You talked on the panel about human-machine teaming, and the need for bi-directional communication.
Right.
Can you talk about what the considerations are there, and kind of maybe this data research, or maybe what you're working on in that?
Sure, absolutely. So human-machine teaming is kind of a hot topic right now, and most people tend to approach it from the perspective of the machine. So what we really need is to build a machine that can interact with our humans. Yes, we absolutely do need that, but we often don't consider the human component as much. So the problem with that is in teams, we need, like I mentioned, bi-directional communication. So like we're talking right now, like any team, any squad, there's a back and forth. And right now we really don't have much of that in terms of our human-machine teams. So my group is working to better sense humans in more operationally relevant environments. So can we understand behavior? Can we understand context of the behavior? Can we look at different cognitive states? Can we basically have a better sense of human intent and what the team in general should do in order to move forward? So that has a lot of important components from the perspective of, say, allowing the machine to know what the mission is, allowing the machine to know when the mission is failing, when the person is failing, when the team is failing. And also from another panel member mentioned deception. So that's another component that sensing human intent can help with that aspect. When can the machine understand when the person or the element it's interacting with is not on good faith, for example. So that's another potential important part of the bidirectional communication.
And is there a learning curve on the human side as well to be able to feel comfortable with a robot system?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's another important part that people sometimes take for granted, the fact that we think that we will insert this AI or this machine into our world, into our teams, and expect it to be amazing and do everything right from the get-go. And I think that expectation a lot of times leads to people deciding, nope, this is no good, and then they decide not to use whatever machine or whatever intelligence is in front of them. But when we really think about teams and teamwork, it takes a little while. The forming, norming, storming, performing, right? So I think that we have to consider those types of elements when we consider putting a machine into our teams as well. So we have to understand the limitations as well as the weaknesses of the machine, and then take that into consideration when we are interacting with them.
Yeah. Sure. And just one other question. You mentioned the conference that is kind of growing maybe to be Ph.D. Can you talk about the evolution of that, kind of where it started, where it is now, and maybe where it will go, and the name of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start by saying, and I might have said it wrong on stage, that it is not a conference because we get in trouble for saying the word conference still, so there are some strange logistical loopholes when it comes to being able to interact in the technical community, but that's a whole other conversation. So it's actually a workshop is what we call it, the Naval Applications of Machine Learning, or NAML. So this is the 4th annual NAML that just occurred this past week at Nywick Pacific. So we host many visitors from all different warfare centers, from industry, from academia, and actually around the globe. So every year it's just grown and grown and grown. So the first year it kind of was just an effort of us locally trying to get together, get on the same page. What are we all doing in this space? The community of interest is growing and growing, and we just wanted to get together. And then that turned into, can I invite my friend that's doing this, and my colleague that's doing this, and my collaborator that's doing this? And it just snowballed from there. So the need is absolutely there, and the desire for the community to interact is absolutely there. So we'll continue to host that as often or every year we can, just because of the value that it really does add, coming together, learning from each other, and figuring out how we can tackle the problems that we talked about on the panel.
Right, and do you see capabilities and solutions or ideas? Is the needle moving? You know, is there progress or innovation, I guess, in these areas?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's amazing. Every year, the technical talks get better and better. The poster sessions get better and better. I think we had 500 or so abstracts even submitted for such a small little thing. So the quality is increasing, and when the quality increases, I think that really helps the collaboration. So people kind of get a sense of, oh, this is what we can do, and knowing the current state of the art really does affect everyone in the audience, so that they begin to believe in their problem spaces and being able to really see this as a way to tackle their problems as well.
And one last question, any other goals you have for this year or next year as far as your research?
That's always a tough one, because it all relies on funding, and Navy Working Capital Fund can be a challenging environment. But there are definitely some things that are picking up that we're super excited about. One researcher in my branch, Dr. Justin Moger, he's starting up a neuromorphic computing group. So we think that is going to be a really big technical objective moving forward. So we're really excited to see where that goes. Another one is 3D ship scanning. So actually being able to take all of our vessels and use UAVs and other types of autonomous agents to look at our current fleet and be able to digitize that, and then take all that information and actually use that to help either understand the current state of the ships. For example, we scan the McCain and the Fitzgerald, or understand what maintenance is needed in other types of domains like that. So there's a lot. That's only two of many. So there's a lot we're doing, and we're super excited about it.